when DJ Quik said, Denver wants to be like Compton. Don't know the backstory of why he even made that song. And there's a backstory why in that song, he said every other city and state was like Compton, but Denver wants to be like Compton. He switched up the lyrics for Denver. And then in my comment section, somebody asked about that situation. So let me clarify this up. DJ Quik comes out here in the 90s, right? In Denver, Colorado. He didn't even know there was actually gang activity going down in the streets of Denver, Colorado. He books a show at the Mammoth Theater, kind of by the east side, you know what I'm saying, where all the Crips were. Crips flood his concert out. They buy tickets. They start tripping on that fool. They run up on stage and start beating up DJ Quik and his entourage. Then ran him out to East Colfax and literally had this fool hiding. And if you don't believe me, go check your own history. But, you know, there's...
This shit is factual. What he's saying is legit, though. I remember as a kid when that shit cracked off. And ultimately, you know, people gonna stop sleeping on Denver because Denver been had it cracking ever since the late 80s, 90s. You got to remember all the cats from California, they was coming out to Denver. And that's how all the hoods is out there. That's why there's so many Cali hoods out there, because a lot of them cats were trying to get away from the bullshit out there. And they knew there was money in Colorado, Denver to be exact. And ultimately, you know, yeah, Quik was surprised, but he got his head busted open. He got cracked with some beer bottles and all that shit. And ultimately in that song, just like Compton, you know, that's where he'd be like, Denver, they want to be just like Compton. Because ultimately, you know, he try to play Denver like they less, but man, y'all gonna stop sleeping on Denver. Denver cracking. Denver's like a little LA across the board, but let's hear the rest of it.
A lot of fools, you know, got in their feelings about the video put out about Denver original gangs and how, you know, it was tied in with a lot of the OGs that came out here to Denver, Colorado. And then they wanted to use a reference off of DJ Quik song. But you got to know the backstory. He got beat up out here in Denver by the Treyos, by some Crips from the east side of Denver. They put hands on that fool. If you listen to that song, every other city and state, he says these states are like Compton because of the simple fact is they got riders from every state. But when he says Denver wants to be like Compton, it's because Denver pressed the line on DJ Quik and ran him out of the city limits. And he got hemmed up for, you know, he got hemmed up for a situation out here too and went to jail out here and everything. But in that...
It's crazy though, because that concert happened so long ago that all the OGs and shit that transpired, like them cats is old as shit now. Are they locked up? Are they dead? And you know that I don't even think that you know the beef, that shit don't stand no more like that. You know, there's money to get. You know, I mean, I'm sure between royalties and touring right now, I'm sure that's probably Quik's biggest bag right there. And ultimately, I know Denver got a lot of love for Quik though, because we came up on, you know, Tonight and all that shit. That used to be, I used to hear that through radios and cars. And you know, Denver's the West to a big degree. But you know, it's crazy to think that, you know, that beef is Denver history. That, you know, it's almost a forgotten piece of Denver history, because nobody look at Denver like, you know, who the fuck is Denver? But Denver been pressing that line for a long motherfucking time.
Sponsor, them Treyos really pressed the line on that fool's helmet and beat DJ Quik up out here. Go do your own research. Guarantee you'll find out what happened, you know, in the early 90s. But, you know, you can't generalize a whole city because you might have a bad, you know what I'm saying, a bad argument with somebody on YouTube, and then you disrespect the whole sector, because there's bona fide riders from every city and state. And if you play with the right ones, they gonna give it to you just like any state. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got to say, man. You can't reference a song and say, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, you fools, you want to be fools, you know, represent Cali hoods, and you know, you're want to be this and want to be that, and then reference a fool that got beat up out here by somebody really pressing a line and smash that fool up. You got to know what you're talking about. So yeah, there was a scenario, like I said, DJ Quik got beat up out here, and everybody knows it. It's nothing new, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of fools that, you know, he didn't go out there and just, you know, put that out there. But that's the reality is, you know what I'm saying, that fool's got on that fool's helmet when he came out here for a concert. But You already know, man. Hope everybody's having a beautiful, blessed day. Let's go Avalanche tonight, Stanley Cup champs. And you know what it is, your boy Sevlo Savage. Let's go.
You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of history that goes back to Denver from the early '90s to where it is now. You know, once again, Denver is a thoroughbred city, and the hoods he talking about where the venue was at. You know, that shit has been gentrified now. You know, you go down there, you see them, but you know, people riding scooters and coffee shops and all that good shit right there. You know, it's crazy to see how Denver has transitioned into what it is now. But you know, yeah, a lot of history on those Denver streets out there. Let me know what y'all know. Drop some comments in that comment section, and I'm out till next time.